Hello, we made it to episode 17. We won't tell you the horrific time we had getting here. We'll just say we're here. So, hi, I'm Paul, and say hello, Mark.
Hello, Mark.
And then say hello, Phil.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, he didn't go for it, Mark.
I know, I got
But
it.
he plays well sometimes. So what are we talking about
straight
today?
man.
Yeah, what are we talking about? What have we been doing? Well, Mark and I played our first game of V3, and so we'll be talking about that tonight.
You mean Bolt Action V3?
Yep, Bolt Action V3 for those people that have been living under a rock. And we also, let's see, Mark had a tournament for Bolt Action
I held a
V3.
Bolt Action version 3 tournament. We had 4 players show up for that, and so I umpired it, and we played 2 rounds of 750 points.
Yeah.
So can't wait to get into the thoughts on the game.
Right. And then did anyone do anything else exciting?
Yes.
Cool. What'd you do, Phil?
October 19th and 20th, I went down to San Diego for the SoCal Open, which is based on by the people who put on LVO, and of course, I was there for the BattleTech and Alpha Strike events. So it was a day of BattleTech and a day of BattleTech Alpha Strike in a giant room full of 40K players.
Nice.
And there were other games there as well, so.
So was
Nice.
there, and you played BattleTech?
Yeah, so I played BattleTech, and on Saturday we had 8 players. I made it to the final game where I lost horribly.
Whoa.
Oh,
And then in BattleTech Alpha Strike on Sunday, I made it to the final game where I lost horribly, but not quite as horribly, so I ended up in 3rd place, but I had a good time both days, so I had a lot of fun.
There you go. Nice.
yeah, a lot of fun is actually what you're supposed to do, right?
Yeah, I
for
met
sure.
some new people. It was nice down there in San Diego. Met a lot of the San Diego BattleTech players and stuff like that, so that was a lot of fun.
Nice. And what did you get for your placement there, Phil?
Well, I have this cool little light up trophy that I've been trying to show on the stream, but
Oh,
my
I see.
camera won't focus on it.
Oh,
I also got a bunch of Gamers Grass, which is they're a company that makes like static grass and little tufts to put on models and stuff like that.
excellent. Always could use that.
Yeah, I got like 3 packs of tufts, so I got a lot of tufts now.
Nice. Excellent.
And since this was for a Warhammer tournament, a lot of these tufts are like in strange colors, like light blue and purple.
Oh, okay.
So maybe not for Bolt Action, but for other games they will work.
Sure. Right on.
And
And who
I
put
was
that
also
who put that event on, Phil?
uh it's Frontline Gaming. They're the same people who put on the Las Vegas Open. They have I don't know how many years they've been doing event in San Diego, but it's like 90% 40K players. There was some Marvel Crisis Protocol. There's some Malifaux. There are a couple of Star Wars games down there as well. There wasn't anything historical,
Okay.
however, that I saw.
Mm-hmm.
But in addition to that, I was also able to get in a game of Bolt Action V3 as well. So,
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Very good. Excellent.
how about you, Paul? Get anything fun in?
Well, yeah, I got to play Mark's list. We were in the special area of
We're in a
Xander.
special area.
Yeah. And we had a really great time with V3, which we'll unpack. That's kind of the main purpose of the episode. Yeah, I was just trying to look up how long SoCal Open has been going on. And,
At least 2 years that I know of, but
well, Gemini doesn't want to say how long it's been going on.
okay.
It looks like 2017.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
That's when their Hall of
Excellent.
Fame started. So I'm assuming that's
Okay.
when they say it kind of sounds right. 2017 before the pandemic, but by a little bit.
Yeah, I did not know about it before last year.
Sweet.
Right. So and then their Frontline Gaming is owned by Reese, and some of their so the tournaments some of them have been kind of run by GW, and sometimes they're not. So I don't know quite sure which ones are. I know that GW's had a big hand in LVO last year and probably have a big hand in this year, but don't quote me on that.
I mean, that's the thing. So, I mean, a lot of the tournaments there, like most of the GW stuff, had lots of great support from GW or from Frontline Gaming. They brought mats, they brought terrain for them to use and stuff like that. As the BattleTech players, we basically had to bring all our own stuff, and we were kind of our own. We didn't have any prize support either provided by Frontline Gaming. And I know there are issues of Frontline Gaming not supporting historical gamers or for LVO in 2025. I know the Bolt Action players, the Battlefront Team Yankee fans are unhappy because those games aren't being supported. Flames of War at LVO and stuff like that. And same with BattleTech. So yeah, so I don't know how much support there will be in the future, but certainly not for LVO 2025.
Okay.
True. Well, we're going to get back on schedule here. And Phil made the schedule. So
Nice.
thank you, Phil. The schedule is starts with what have been people. Let's try that again. What have you been painting? I'm reading the schedule. I should just use my own words. What have you been painting? So I bought a. Does it work? Yes, it does. Bought a Vespa. So that's primed and ready to go, ready to paint and put some rounds in on Mark's little cronies.
Looks like it needs a mortar shell right on top of that thing.
Sure. And then you probably can't see it that well, but that's the infamous 6-shot machine gun team, also primed and ready to go.
Nice.
And then I've been wanting this, so I got it. It's your basic,
Ooh.
yes, 105 millimeter howitzer, and I won't show you the black primed troops. So that's what I bought. I bought it at Xander in Camarillo.
Nice. Excellent.
And what an excellent store. Go and play at Xander's. It's on Ventura Boulevard.
And you can order your Warlord stuff through them for sure.
Yep. And they will get it for the best price they can get it for you. And they're a great game house, which hosted a tournament. So that's what I've been painting. What have you been painting, Mark?
Actually, Phil turned me on to some Etsy sites, and then I found some Banditos that I had bought. They were pretty cheap, and so I just painted some Banditos for my Dead Man Hand gang. And and actually picked up some Apache Renegades that I haven't finished or started yet. But that's what I did the last week. And so got a little off World War II, but, we also did our tournament. But we'll let Phil talk about what he's been painting.
Well, I mean, last time I mentioned that I had bought a whole bunch of light mortars from Etsy as well.
Mm-hmm.
Those have not arrived yet. I have not gotten those yet. So I'm still waiting for those. I need to contact the seller to see what's up with those.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I finished some German HMGs, some American HMGs for bolt action. I finished some more German DAC infantry because I didn't have enough infantry, and the one game of V3 I played was basically in North Africa battle. And I started a Japanese anti-tank gun. It's not quite done yet. And I'm also working on some 28 millimeter Byzantine forces that I'm actually going to use in Lion Rampant and Dragon Rampant.
Excellent.
I had a force before. I'm just fleshing them out and adding some more archers because I was a little lacking in archers.
Nice.
So that's what I've been working on.
Good spread. That's cool. Very good.
I love, what paints are you using, Phil?
It's a mix. I've got, Army Painter. I love the new Speed Paint 2.0s, but I also have some Citadel paints, and I've got some old P3 paints that I'm using as well. But mostly the new Speed Paint 2.0s and the other Army paints that aren't Speed Paints.
So you are just doing a cornucopia of stuff.
I am. It's been fun. It's a little bit of everything. It's just like a HMG team here and there. I've only got 6 Byzantine models on my table, so there's not a whole lot of them. But it's fun doing a little bit of a bunch of different things.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Mixing it up.
Yep.
Nice.
So what's next on our agenda? Well, let's see. Let's start unpacking V3. Let's start with our game that we were doing. I think we did that. Do you remember what the date was that on that? It was mid-October.
Yeah, it was on a Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the date was.
It was after the podcast because we had talked about
Maybe it was
up.
the day before Halloween, the 30th.
You're right.
It was the 30th of
Wow.
October.
Yes, it was the 30th.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
that
that's
is
when it
the
was.
social studies brain in operation,
There you
ladies
go.
and gentlemen.
That's right.
Dates,
Correct.
times, and names.
Steel trap.
Steel trap. It's right there. So on the 30th of October, in the year of our Lord 2024, you brought a list. What do you think about your list that you brought?
Well, I was thinking that because this game, you have to get objectives. I went with a lot of infantry to get more order dice. Did we do 1,000 points? I don't remember the points that we did.
Yes, we did 1,000 points.
So with the Soviets, I found you can bring a ton of stuff. I mean, you get a good spread. I think I cheated a little bit because I'm supposed to bring 2 tanks and not just one, because during the tournament, I've fleshed out that rule that if you buy 1 tank, you have to buy a second armored vehicle of some sort. Like the command vehicle could be the armored car, but you have to bring a second armored thing with you.
Yeah,
So,
what it is you have to bring a vehicle that has the command rule.
mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of vehicles on the list that.
But it says in the rulebook mandatory 2 vehicles, right?
You have to bring 2 vehicles. You can't just bring 1 vehicle.
Well,
so I cheated. I only brought 1 T-34, I think. So that might have you gave me some type of advantage. I'm not sure.
Well, you probably would have had to lose a squad or something. You had a lot of order dice.
Right.
How many do you have?
And then I'm finding that, I put it together as 750-point Soviet troops, all regular, and I still had 12 order dice. So I think you can put a lot of order dice out in the new version.
I agree. Yeah, you can get a lot of order dice. Yeah, so what do you think was the strength of your list besides the missing vehicle?
Well, I think I remember I brought my infantry out to charge out, and you just you put all your fire onto 1 unit. And so I think that took away a lot of your, I don't know, your momentum, I guess, and allowed me to keep moving forward. So I'm just playing with it still, but I think the infantry allows you to absorb hits, of course, and, where armor might not give you that ability.
Yeah, to further talk about what you were saying, I brought a legal, not to rub it in, a legal armored platoon, armored platoon. So I had 3 Panzer IIIs, and then I gave 1 the command option, and then I brought a regular rifle platoon, and I think I had 10 order dice or 9 or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly, but I just kept them together because they benefit from the command vehicle stuff. And it felt kind of like 40K a little bit. I literally put all that firepower down on 1 unit, and I was not able to wipe it out. So the machine gun rule for the vehicles is a definite game changer. I think it's correct. I know I've heard some people online saying, well, I was a tanker and it was much easier to fire. It's still a game. So we got to kind of keep that in perspective, that we want it to be not unbalanced. So we all know about the DACA Stuart, and we just don't want that again. So I'm glad that they did pull back on it. It felt great to have 3 tanks just kind of roll up and just... That was fun.
Yeah, and it's still, we're still playing around with I was thinking about it because over the tournament, someone brought 2 mortars, and they were snapping 2 every turn, and they were just firing both mortars every time as basically, 1 shot. And, there's just a lot you can play with and manipulate. I do think if you're, obviously getting the objectives, the infantry is going to be key. And I like that because I did see over the tournament too that I don't think the tanks are as strong. as they used to be, and I like that they're giving the infantry a little bit more power in that regard, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that the tanks. We also weren't playing with the anti-tank gun rule.
I was about to ask you that because I mean, because we were using that today, and I mean, tanks were dying left and right. So I don't know why you guys were having that issue.
Yeah, I don't know how that tank battle would have played out 3-on-1 with the anti-tank rule because I rolled up into him, I think, and then so he was able to kind of get first shots.
Well, you remember you came out and then I got side shots on you because
that's what I mean. I rolled up into
Yeah.
you, and then
Mhm.
you were
Yeah.
able to respond. But again, it was a really fun learning game. I really had a lot of fun playing it.
Mhm.
And the anti-tank rule is that I mean, if you're shooting an anti-tank gun at a vehicle, you basically get a -1 modifier to hit. So it's a lot easier for you to hit when you're shooting an anti-tank gun at a
Now
vehicle.
that has to be an anti-tank gun, though. I don't think I just had the tank and some anti-tank rifles. I think.
I think
So
I think anti-tank rifles and AT guns. I mean, I thought all those had it.
I think it has to only be the gun. I'm not sure. I'd have to double check.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's just AT guns, so you're light,
Right.
medium, heavy, super
And-
heavy.
And
And
so
then-
does that mean like what is it? An M10 Wolverine has that, but like a Panzer IV doesn't?
No, Panzer IV has it.
They all. Oh, so any tank has an anti-tank gun.
Right.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Well, as long as it can fire AP.
I thought it was because they're like on the two-wheeled trailer thing that they got to sight because they're not moving. That's
No, it's just a classification. So
okay.
the-
So anything that's an anti-tank gun.
yeah, basically anything that fires an AP round,
Okay.
regardless of whether it's mounted on a tank or rolled around by infantry in a standard AT gun.
Well,
Yes,
double check the rule book, everybody.
I'm looking at it now. It's page 96. So anything from a light anti-tank gun up through the super heavy anti-tank guns get a
Okay.
hit.
Yeah,
So
we
the
all
rifle
have our
doesn't
rule
count.
book here. I have mine,
Yeah, I left
So
mine
we're
in the
gonna-
other room.
even though it's backwards. Yeah, the thing is that like the ZIS gun, it can fire
Yes.
as a HE or as an anti-tank gun.
Right.
So that would give it. But the thing
Which-
is you have to be in a fire position or ambush to get that bonus, right?
You have to have not moved the turn before, correct?
Well, I think the rule states either if your order is fire or ambush, then you get. the
So
anti-tank gun round.
fire means you didn't move the turn before, right? I mean, technically,
Right.
because you could put right. Okay, cool. What was I gonna say? Oh, the thing I also like that is the howitzer has been, I guess you would say, neutered in the fact that there's basically only about 12 to 18 inches on the board that the indirect fire can be used. So it seems like the howitzers are going to be used more directly now, which is cool to me. So
Except for that HE rule. You want to blast us with that?
I don't remember it. You can throw us off on that.
So HE indirect, no cover saves.
Oh, okay, but I'm saying like you know how it used to be able to hit the whole board with any howitzer? Basically, you only have about 12 inches now, right?
Right. So you're not
play
going to
with.
bring up the medium or heavy howitzers anymore. That's not going to happen unless you go. Well, no, you're not. There's not. And then you have to go direct fire, which means they get a cover save, right?
Right.
Yes.
But if they're indirect, they get no cover save.
Right.
They can do down for half hits, but that's it.
Right.
And
So
we
I
found
like that
we found
Sorry.
that that's deadly,
Mm-hmm.
which
I mean,
brings.
so quickly interjecting about my game, we had a 2,000 point game,
Oh wow.
and one of the person was a British player who had 2 air artillery observers, and British artillery observers gets 2 shots each. So there were 4 shots, and that is a heavy howitzer indirect if it manages to hit you.
And that's anywhere on the board, right? That he
anywhere
can
on the
spot.
anywhere he could see. So
Mhm.
yes,
Yeah.
if those could be nasty when those hit still.
For
so.
sure, for sure. So with you had 2,000 points, how many order dice did you play with?
That was like 22, I think, per side is what we had.
Ooh, how many players? You and another person?
Yeah.
Wow. So how
And-
long's the game then?
we played 3 hours last Sunday and another 3 hours today,
Wow.
and we called it because our side had gotten slaughtered by the artillery observers. So yes, there was nothing left. My Panzer Fubard ran off the board.
Right.
Which is interesting that your tanks could actually run off the board if you're not careful. If they're close to an edge of the board and they foobar or fail an order test, they'll just run right off the board.
That made me think you got to come into the pool and play now. You can't just sit on the edge and shoot your tank. You know, you got to come in. Yeah.
We
Correct. And you really
definitely
want to
definitely
deploy in the
don't
middle
want to
of the
sit
board.
on the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'cause if
you
go-
don't want to be within 9 inches or whatever our movement is of the edge of the board anymore.
Because you used to be able just to sit on the edge and play hide and seek and
Yep.
pick shots.
So that's an important change.
Yeah,
I
because
also had a
go ahead.
question where you guys were saying that you had illegal lists. Did you guys try using the updated Easy Army or the new Warlord app?
Yeah, I did the Easy Army updated list. And
I-
it
I-
seems like they just updated it again since I did it yesterday and they gave me a different printout style.
Oh,
So
wow.
they might have updated it again. I'm not sure.
Well, you could print out cards as well as an option if you want. You get your list, or
Right.
you can get it printed out as cards. That's your choice.
I usually
I-
do a PDF, and the way they have
Yeah.
it laid out is different now.
Okay.
I usually email it,
Oh, okay.
and then I can print it from my email, and plus I can look at it, on free time.
Yeah.
The thing that is really interesting is Easy Army doesn't catch those things because it would have caught that mark and
Yes,
said,
it should have.
it should have given you an illegal list. So,
It doesn't make it mandatory which
Yeah.
they need to do.
They highlight in red which selections you need to take, but yeah, it'll let you create whatever you want.
yeah, so you have to be really careful watching the rule book. Has anyone tried Warlords?
No, but I heard it's not free, so that's the issue. You have to pay for it. So
Yeah, I
that's why
tried
no
it
one-
and did not like it because, well, I tried it back in V2, so because it didn't have all the books. So I was like, okay, this isn't working for me. So then
Now
I just,
there's only one book, so maybe it's easier.
yeah, I would assume, and maybe more accurate. I'm not positive. I can't, that'll be a thing to do on our to-do list is check
Yeah.
that out.
And I think Easy Army will get better as the time goes by.
One would hope. The mortar rule and the forward observer seems like a auto include. Does that feel right to you too?
What does that mean, auto include?
What do you mean by forward observer? What do you mean forward observer? Just a spotter or a?
Well, see, the forward observer can spot for every indirect weapon
Right.
Okay.
because it says in the rules that whatever he sees, every indirect gun
Yes.
sees,
Yes.
which to me makes a huge, huge game bonus for
Yes.
you.
Yes, it
Because-
makes that $100 or 100 points you're paying for that forward observer even better because now he can stay on the board and be useful.
And we haven't played British yet, where you get 2 strikes.
You get two strikes. So yeah, they are particularly nasty. I have learned that if I see them again in the game, they are the first things I gotta target and kill before they activate.
Do the Soviets still get the super blaster?
Don't know.
Remember it was like they get a double howitzer or something they used to get with their forward observer. I'd have to obviously look it up. I'm just.
I thought they
speaking.
got. I don't.
They had it was like heavy howitzer or something they used to get with their national trait when you bought the forward observer with the Soviets.
Yeah, they've neutered a lot of the
Yeah.
special rules, so I
They
don't know
have.
what's
Yeah.
left.
I'd have to run and grab my book.
They have mass batteries. They get to.
That's batteries. That's it. That's it.
So normally an artillery strike is D6 plus 6, so you roll a D6. But mass batteries, they get to roll 2 D6 and take the larger number.
Yeah, I like that. It comes out pretty nice. The thing that was interesting, someone brought a Hungarian team, and they get to negate the other team's infiltrators. So you can't have spotters or snipers on the board with versus Hungarians, which I found interesting.
You can't have spotters on the board.
I mean, well, they take away your infiltrator skill, so you only put them on when everyone else comes on.
okay, well, that's not killer. It's just
But I mean, it's a pretty good advantage for the Hungarians that you're not going to have snipers out in front of you, or
but the Hungarians can, or they don't have it.
Yeah, no, the Hungarians can put their infiltrators out, but they negate the enemy's infiltrators.
Then that's pretty big.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty cool. Pretty cool.
So how did the tournament go? Are we ready to unpack the tournament? This happened.
Sure. I don't want to hog up the time. Yeah, no, it was really fun. 4 players showed up, 2 new players, so that was great. 2 new to the game and or newer to the game, and they brought a German list and a Hungarian list. Like I said, there was an American list, and then I made a 750 point, basically all infantry Soviet list that I let someone borrow, and it came out really fun. Like I said, the American brought 2 mortars in their list, and they brought a meat chopper, and they brought a priest. And I found that the vehicles weren't as effective on all the teams. It seems like the infantry is pretty critical now in the game. And then we played the demolition scenario for the first one, and then the top secret for the second one. And again, you have to run on those, and some of the players didn't get that right away for the first turn. You need to be hustling towards the other players' objective and stuff. So it was fun. It was a
now
good
demolition is the base, right?
kill the other person's base. Yeah. So basically, on the first turn, you need to run because
Well,
you're running out of time.
The other
know?
thing is it's different than V2, where V2 the game ended immediately upon the destruction of a base. Now you have the end of turn still goes, and then
Yeah, and you roll for it.
right.
You roll. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's a very good cleanup to that craziness. Also, you have no road bonus for vehicles. That's another cleanup. You don't just zip out there and
Zip
jump out
there,
and
yeah.
go.
Oh, and you can't relay it anymore.
Right.
Yeah. So
So a lot of cleanup. I've only seen one person on the internet get grumpy about it. Everyone else has been really excited about it. I'm very excited about it. I think
it turned out really cool because the person running with the oh no, I'm sorry, that was the top secret. Sorry, the relaying, the non-relaying on the top secret made the game really fun. So
right.
I jumped around. Sorry.
No, that's good. We were just saying that both scenarios have been cleaned up now and they're actually fun. And I like the new system where we have 3 different deployment zones, right? And 3 different deployment types.
So that made both games different because one person played off the edge and one person played off a corner. So even though we were playing the same scenario, I let them roll the next 2 parts, fog of war or whatever. So it changed even within the tournament game. So it was fun.
What do people think of the cover save mechanism that's now in the game?
It was funny. Someone mentioned they're like, "Hey, I don't have any more Super 6s." So I thought that was cool because it makes it seem like more streamlined. You're not always going Super 6, Super 6, Super 6.
Yeah, Super 6 always seemed impossible. Now you always have a chance. It doesn't seem like they're impossible shots anymore.
Yeah, and then I think it's balanced that you get to save. So I saw a lot of saves. So
So I know our listeners do play bolt action. So I don't know if they know that one of the people on the Bolt Action website for Facebook group, they actually emailed Warlord about what happens when a sniper kills an officer. Because I had asked the question, and so there was a lot of talk about what was right, and someone actually reached out and got an answer from them. So what happens is sniper goes for the leader, who's your officer, and snipes him. So now you just have a regular unit of 2 or 3, 1 or 2 guys.
Do you mean the
left.
platoon commander? They shoot the platoon
or
commander?
any platoon commander. Yeah.
Okay,
So
any platoon commander.
right. So now they lose the ability to be an officer type unit. They just become a regular 11
So
Bravo.
his 2 helpers just become regular men.
Right, with the whatever
You can't-
weapons.
And you can't do a snap 2 and he doesn't provide a morale bonus or anything like that.
Yeah, they lose all of that commander ability. They just become a small unit. We know we don't have small unit anymore, but technically
And are they fighting at a -1 for morale because they have no leader?
that's correct.
Yeah. Okay. That makes total sense.
Yeah, for me that wasn't as much of an issue because I actually had in my 1,000 points I had 4 platoons, so I actually had 4 platoon commanders running around, so they were all able to provide assistance where needed. So I wasn't really afraid of losing an officer.
Here's a question that came up. We had a sniper shot, killed people, right? It got a 3 hit. So you don't get to pick anymore, right? You don't get to pick a machine gun or officer. Is it always
Oh.
just officer then?
It's always just NCO, I thought. Yeah,
And it's always NCO.
Well, wait. No, it's leader.
a leader.
Le-
Yeah.
So if you shoot a sniper, then you
Uh-huh.
shoot the sniper, but the assistant becomes now the sniper with a -1 for
No,
morale.
I'm sorry.
and
I'm sorry. The sniper is shooting at a rifle platoon.
so he
or a
will go
rifle.
for the NCO,
Okay, he kills the NCO,
and
and then in Germany it does nothing, right? It just basically moves to the next guy.
but in Germany,
you're-
the guy picks who. German
Okay.
player picks which guy dies, and the NCO
So,
stays.
In the rules, it says that the person just gets to shoot a man or pick the NCO. Why wouldn't you pick the NCO every time?
You have to pick the all he
have to
does.
pick the
Yeah,
NCO.
Yeah.
he
Okay.
just aims at the leader. So on a machine
Okay.
gun, he's aiming at the leader. It's kind of weird because you basically lose a guy, and now you have that -1 throughout.
So the medium machine gun doesn't run off anymore if he kills the main gun.
Right.
Correct.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
And we played that way, Mark. Remember, we house ruled that because we
Yes.
were tired of things just dying.
Yes.
So we would just say, "Oh, one guy dies, and you carry the -1 now."
Right. Mhm.
So,
And then they streamline the D2 pins, D3 pins. It's always the same dice now. D1 is so it's for your pin rolls. So that makes more sense now.
what do you guys think of the advanced dual armor damage table, where you glance and you have a table, and you penetrate, you have a table?
The superficial damage chart, we got that a lot. It seemed kind of pointless, to be honest. I mean, I don't know why we need 6 different kinds of superficial damage, but it was there. We tried it. It was all right.
I didn't
What?
see a lot of tank damage, so I'm not sure to say.
My
Yeah, he just
question
kept
is,
blowing mine away, so he wasn't really impressed.
did you guys have any assaults? We never had any assaults with the new rules. Did you guys see any assaults in your games or even in
No.
the tournament?
No.
I think it's
Yeah, no
very
one
difficult to get into an assault now with the new rules, where the
Yeah.
defender has always got the advantage.
Yeah.
Well, interesting thing, like I said, one person brought a meat chopper, so that was 4 50 caliber shooting at once. So that kept a lot of people from not running across the fields. And then another person brought this, what was it? Hanomag, but it has 3 auto cannons on it. So it was shooting like 6. No, they brought a Whirlwind. Sorry. They brought a Whirlwind, and it was shooting like 6 auto cannons or something like that. So it's pretty deadly with those things.
Should be 4 autocannons, but yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
four. Sorry, but they hit with all 4. So then it was like, geez, all the 4 templates out there,
Yeah, waiting for V4 on that fix, right?
I mean, it makes sense if you got blasted with 4 20mm guns, I guess.
Yeah, it does make sense. I just don't know if it's gamey, if
Right,
it just
right.
doesn't feel like, oh, I'm having fun now.
Right. Well, I mean, but both the vehicles were blown up because now you can bring a lot more mortars, and so I think it's just playing with it all, figuring it all out.
Yeah, I know Squad Leader got around away from it by saying you can fire it as a gun, or you can fire its infantry fire equivalent. So I just don't think there's enough modifiers in bolt action to make it kind of reflect how hard it was to hit stuff.
Right.
Well, I mean, I thought I had heard a rumor that anti-aircraft guns were not going to be allowed to shoot at people anymore. But I guess that did not.
We might have missed that rule. We could have screwed that up. I'm not sure.
And I don't know if that actually got into the rule book or not.
I mean,
That's
but why would you bring a meat chopper then if you can't shoot at the people?
for flak for tanks, because they were never designed for shooting at people.
Oh, really? I thought I read they did.
Well, they did. I mean, like the M16 American one was shot at troops all the time, and I don't know about the Whirlwind.
And that's why it was a rumor that it was going to happen. And I'm trying to find it in the book, and then
Yeah, I could be speaking incorrectly for sure.
So we should write up a couple of things that we're going to look up, and
Yes. So
for our
that
next
the
episode.
anti-tank, anti-aircraft gun.
So that'll be episode 18. We're gonna.
But
find out.
but they're light auto cannons is why. They're light auto cannons. So I think that's why.
fine, but if they're labeled anti-aircraft,
Sure.
I mean the 222 armored cars got a autocannon, but it's just got one of them, and that was designed for shooting at people.
Uh-huh.
What about
Yeah.
the new book coming out? The German book? I guess we're going to get all new books.
Yes, we need to do that. I need to get my pre-order in actually still with Xander. She was asking me about it. I got to do that. I'm just looking forward to see how the lists play out with the new rules and how the historical teams are connected. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Will we ever get back to our Stalingrad campaign?
Well, when's the Soviet book come out? Because that's the problem. We have a lot of intricate units in there.
So I'm really thinking about this mortar idea. You know, you get 2 light mortars. They're really now effective at 36 inches with 12 minimum, plus a forward observer to help them see over things.
Don't the Soviets get like 4 light mortars?
Well, you can also replace it with a medium.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking bring 2 light mortars and 2 medium mortars. You'd be going to town.
Yeah, I just have to buy a medium mortar.
Right.
But yeah, I have the 2 lights and 1 medium.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, you know, my platoon can have 1 of the mortars, and then my heavy weapons, I would put 2 mortars and a machine gun, and it's kind of dirt cheap. So that's a lot of indirect, and indirect ignores cover saves. So it's pretty horrific.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Even with the hit on 6.
And the cool thing is that new thing, if the template covers units that are close, you can hit other units. So that would work, right?
Yep. The other trick I found was allows you in the rules to buy a, I think, 50-point motorcycle sidecar, and then give it a 10-point command vehicle for 60 points, and now you can spam out some vehicles.
That's a cheap command vehicle, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but how would he talk to people? Because I thought commands can't talk to closed vehicles. That's only open top. Does the motorcycle have a radio then or something?
Yeah, I guess you give it. I guess you're giving it a radio by giving it the command rule.
Command vehicle.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So it says here, get my glasses on.
You got Sergeant Joe Cool on his motorcycle, I guess.
Motorcycle with machine gun sidecar.
Oh yeah, I've seen that used. That's pretty deadly.
Yeah, so our regular would be 40 points, and then the extra is 10 points. So that for 50 points, you have a command vehicle.
And that can command a tank.
A whole tank platoon.
The whole platoon, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's I don't know what the Soviets have. I've just been studying the Germans.
Right. Could you get a Kettenrad? I got a Kettenrad model.
Don't see it. It has to be an armored car. So the command vehicle has to either be a tank or an armored car. So that's.
I thought you just said you can do a motorcycle.
That's an armored car.
What?
Yeah, it's under the armored car listing.
Yeah.
How is a motorcycle armored car?
You're not supposed to reason it. You're just supposed to accept it.
Okay. But a Kettenrad, to me, which is more armored, would be more armored car.
No, that's a transport or tow.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get it, but you know what I'm saying? It seems like that would be.
Yeah, you're trying to make sense. I know.
Yes. Okay.
You just keep that up. We'll support it 100%. It's just.
Right. I just talked to myself.
Yeah. It's like making sense of 40K. Don't do that.
I don't do that.
It's just going to make you hurt.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, because it's all made up. And especially it's made up by rule lawyers and guys that like lots of dice, which I do. Nice. I like both.
Yes.
I'm not dissing them. I'm part of the group. I don't even know if that qualifies me to be able to diss them, but it was not meant as a diss. It was meant as a characterization that I feel part of, as opposed to battle tech
on
people.
The agenda, Paul?
We're rambling.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask, so now that we're heading into the holiday season, I'm not sure of any upcoming games on the schedule for Major Wellington for the next month or so. Nothing's on the calendar yet. Does anyone else know of any?
No, the guy from what's the store in Stevenson's Ranch? Is it Loaded Dice?
Yeah.
I'm not okay. He reached out to me. He wants to do a bolt action tournament in January, so we can do something out there. So I need to talk to him. December is pretty open. Someone was mentioning that hopefully we could get something going on. But obviously, I understand holidays and probably people are going to get busy for the next month. But we'll see.
What
I'm
about
always open to do something.
what about LA Wargamers in Little Tokyo? Is that something that is close to you, Phil, or you would be willing to come out to?
I'd be willing to go to an event there. It's a little bit of a drive, but I could probably make it.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to just get together with you one night
Okay.
and play V3 and play some. You walk me through this game that I want to play, BattleTech.
I'll take. There you go. Okay, we still have to do that. That is true. So
I know
we need to
it's
schedule something.
yeah. And
And
then
let's
with the holidays coming up, I'm going to have a lot more time, and I know Mark
Me
is
too. Yeah.
So Mark and I will probably get out there. We tried to get out last Wednesday, but
Yeah. The
Mother
fires got in the
Nature,
way.
yeah, the fire. Was it? I just felt like it wasn't smart to drive through 101.
No, it was crazy because I was at work and, you're getting calls like, oh, I'm getting evacuated. My neighbor's getting evacuated. Are you getting evacuated? So I was like, I get the order to get evacuated. It's not going to be the best game option. So, but I was lucky. I did know some people that lost their houses. So that was unfortunate. But I was lucky. I was a couple like a mile away from the evacuation zone. So.
And then I do want Phil to hit the right screen on his Left Coast Gamer Chat so we can see that award.
Yes.
Oh, I have to.
The right. No, you just hit. Oh, you got out of it. Hit present.
There it is.
Yeah, we'll hit
Bam.
present again so we can see it. Yeah.
There we go.
Wow, that's killer, man.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very nice. So we have upgraded our tech, so
Nice.
we're getting better and better.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll
Just have
start to
learn how
have
use it
some.
now.
We put the tech in the budget, huh?
Yeah,
Nice. So, all right, Phil, you putting that on your mantle?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Well, in my office where no one else
Okay.
can see it. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
and then I think for viewers, what I can do is I can go, really nice and solid there, so they can get it. SoCal Open, Alpha Strike.
Tell me what WoolNet 350 means.
WolfNet 350 is the tournament format. You have 350 points of stuff to play around with.
Got
So
it.
that's what that is.
And you got the bronze.
The bronze, yes, I did.
Nice. All
Or in
right.
this case, the teal blue.
There you go.
And I wanted to reach out about Dan and the Studio City venue. What's cooking out there and what happened?
We want to get an event for December, but I guess, Mark, did you go to the one in October, the Fantasy Day?
No, I couldn't make that one. I was really sick that day, so I missed that.
I couldn't make it either, but I know they had a fantasy game. They had some. I thought they had some Dragon Rampant or something. I don't.
They
know
played a
what else.
bunch of a couple Dracula games. I'm not sure. They did just fantasy games for sure.
Yeah, but I know they want to schedule something for December. It's just hard with the church and the holidays.
Right.
Right. But
Yes.
Geeky Teas is I just saw they put out an a little message on Discord warning people to be polite and not litter in their parking lot. And
Bummer.
yeah, very unfortunate because Mark and I played there several times. Really liked the staff and the people that were there. So something with their move has changed. So
Maybe
we need
there's
to.
some outside people that hang out in the parking lot or something.
Well, in the store too, they were referencing people were not being as
Bummer.
hospitable or kind as they should have been or were in the original location. So
Bummer.
let's populate that and put a smile on.
Yes.
'Cause
Politeness
that's
counts.
yes. And they play BattleTech there. They play everything there. They've got
Yeah, I
um
haven't been to the new location. I still want to get out there.
and the rooms are amazing. So I think for $50 you can get a room all night and they're
Nice.
really fun. So I would love to do that at some point. So many
Nice.
things to do.
That's correct.
Let's see what else are we gonna. So we're gonna play more Bolt Action.
Yes, of course.
We are definitely going to play Phil
We're going
BattleTech.
to read more bolt action book and make sure we know all the rules as well.
That's correct.
I
yeah,
think-
I mean that's the thing.
Yeah,
But I do like the rules a lot. I think it's a good change. I was a person that was worried about it, but I do like them. I think it's more streamlined.
well, the big thing is the cover saves, and I like that because it does add an element of interactivity that makes it fun, and also it's not a big, huge game changer as far as the feel for the game. Do you guys agree?
Yes. And it allows you to bring like multiple big weapons and not have like everyone dead in the first turn. So
Yeah, I mean, I do like
Yeah.
the list building. It seems like you have more choices when you build your platoon these days, or your multiple platoons these days. Yeah.
and I think it's better. I think it's more historical because they're always sent out the platoon, rifle platoon, right? They didn't always have like flamethrowers and all the other special accoutrements with it, right? So I like that you have to have that basic unit with you at all times.
And Phil, did you have dug-in units when you were had artillery?
We did not. We all had to walk on the board. Did you have Did you get to use dug-in units at all, or okay?
No, and they have rules now in the book for dug-in. And
Yeah, I like that they put all the mud, snow, dug in, minefield all in the book, and you don't have to buy the campaign books anymore for that.
yeah, they call them the optional rules, but
Right.
you kind of need them for the scenarios. And I think for just the whole feel for it, they have sewer movement, obviously buildings, which I think are interesting. They have some optional rules for buildings that Mark and I discovered you have to do when you have a large building. Like we played the rail center in Stalingrad, and we had to kind of play it with counters.
Okay.
But that was still version 2, of course, but
Yeah, but I think you're still gonna have to do that.
probably.
Yeah, it's just a mess trying to do it.
I just think there's going to be, which probably Warlord obviously wanted. I think everyone's going to have 20 order dice whenever you're playing a 1,200 point game. So
Yeah, and we talked about just firing, beginning in advance and firing in a building. That's going to be a big game changer. And they talk about that in the rules, but we haven't played it.
well, just the assault rules too in general will change that.
Yeah, and then you have your book, right, Phil?
Yes.
So if you go to page 294, they have the rules for dug in.
Okay.
And so a unit dug in counts as down when shot at, even if it's not down. An additional +2 cover save.
That seems nice.
And
Yeah.
HE is halved, rounded down. If the unit goes down while dug in, it gets the ability to reroll fail cover saves. Being dug in offers no additional protection benefit against enemy assaults, although tank assaults are the exception, which they show below. So units count as dug in until they are ordered to advance or run. And then you can put down foxhole locations.
But that seems like a scenario-specific sort of thing. It's not the kind of thing you're going to see in tournaments, for example, because it says you can't dig in during the game, for example.
Yeah, but we typically,
You have to agree to it before you start.
Yeah.
I think,
yeah,
right?
we typically try, I think it's still going to be the same case where the tournament scene is kind of one game, and then the
campaigns, yeah.
the campaigns and the campaign books are another. And both
Yeah.
Mark and I felt like the campaign was a more fun
More fun.
venue.
I agree. I've played some.
So did you use the desert rules, Phil, when you played?
We did. No, we did not. We didn't try. We were just trying to learn the regular rules.
Sure.
We ignored all the desert rules.
Got it.
And this is the OC group, right? The
Yeah.
guys that I
Yeah.
played before.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
no, I think this is just my opinion. I just think these special rules should be standard rules, but I don't know. That's just my.
Well, we can make them standard in house,
Yeah, it's all when you play your friends. It's all what you guys like to do.
or you can put them in for your tournament. You can say these are going to be
Right.
standard rules
Yeah.
Right.
for
Because
the
I
tournament.
mean, obviously you're gonna dig in if you get a shovel, right?
Right.
You could just put some foxholes on the table and say these are foxholes.
Sure.
If you deploy here, you're dug in.
We played that one time and it was really fun. I liked it. You could take the foxhole, not take the foxhole. It was cool.
Yeah. And where they were, which was really interesting. We used die, but now on retrospect, we should probably just use a little token
I thought we were using little bases.
Yeah, I think we did at one time.
Yeah,
we did die
just
at that
used bases,
first.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
did
we did
die at
dice
the
at
first,
first,
and then
yeah.
we used bases because we got smart, which is the token
Yeah.
that I was talking about.
Yeah, because then the base represents the man's size and stuff. So
Right.
right on.
Right on. So we're going to look up some rules. I wrote down some things like whirlwinds and M16. How does that function?
Right. Now we're
Um,
going to become bolt action experts.
Yes, and feel free to write in and complain to us everything you mentioned that was incorrect.
Right.
Definitely.
Attention, Paul.
Thank you. So
He reads all of our fan mail.
yes, so I get some time off in November, so Mark and I will be playing. I'm going to reach out to you, Phil, and see if we can meet up at the new LA War Games.
I might have some time in around holidays. Yeah.
So that'll be fun because I definitely have 2 boxes that I got for my birthday of BattleTech. I just want to play so much.
All right. We can do that.
Excellent. Excellent.
All right. Anything else?
No, just keep plugging away on all your stuff. Get your pile of shame down.
Looking forward to playing some good games this month.
Very true. Very true. Okay. So Mark, you have the music.
Oh, sorry. Falling asleep at the job here.
Yep.
Hang on. There
And
you
we will see you in December, everyone. Bye-bye.